Hello, brothers and sisters. Happy Valentine's weekend. Valentine's is that time of the year when we take care of our hearts and our loved ones. But it's equally important that we take care of our hearts. This muscular organ that pumps blood and delivers oxygen throughout our bodies and beats over 100,000 times each day. Let me begin with a shocking revelation. Just a few months ago, two of my closest friends passed away on the same day. The first was my good friend Randy, whom I had known since we played junior tennis when we were little kids. He left us at the very young age of 45. The second was Rico, a fellow sports writer who is one of the nicest people that you can meet. He was only 53. Both passed away from massive heart attack. Brothers and sisters, we don't know when our time will come. But while we are still here, alive and together with our family and friends, let us do the best that we can to take care of our hearts. I want to start with scripture and read from 1 Corinthians 6, verses 19 to 20. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. We have an obligation to take care of our bodies. Rick Warren, the pastor and author of the book The Purpose-Driven Life, says it very well. I am not the owner of my body, but I am the caretaker or manager of it. The word manager in the Bible is steward. Taking care of my body is an issue of spiritual stewardship. In fact, God tells me that one day I will have to give an account for how well I managed everything He gave to me, including my body. We need to take care of our bodies. How? We all know the basics. Eating a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, avoiding smoking and excessive drinking, maintaining a normal weight, lessening stress. We all know these. But today, I'd like to focus on one aspect that will surely improve your well-being: exercise. My goal is to convince you to exercise not just for a month or a few months and then you'll stop. My goal is to convince you to exercise for life. Exercise so that you will live a happier, more productive life. Exercise so that you will live a longer life. Why should you exercise? Here are 6 reasons. First, exercise acts as an immune booster. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed our world. Over 1 million people have died. Hundreds of thousands get afflicted every day. We have lost friends, relatives, people close to us. One of the best ways that we can ward off and fight COVID-19 is to become physically stronger. Dr. Claire Steeves of King's College London said, exercise has a major effect on the immune system. It's a fact we have known for decades. Many studies link moderate exercise with decreased rates of influenza, pneumonia, and other infections, as well as chronic diseases like diabetes. When you are active, your immune system is strengthened in a number of ways. Inflammation is reduced, there is an increase in the presence of innate immune cells, positively affecting your gut microbiome, all of which support your body's defense mechanisms. A stronger, more robust body will help you repel diseases, including COVID-19. Exercise boosts your immune system. Second reason, Exercise combats stress. Exercise is an antidepressant. During this pandemic, our levels of stress have increased. Mental health is a major problem. Studies have shown that there are more cases of depression since COVID-19 struck than possibly at any time before. This is not surprising. Worries about getting sick, the grief of the death of a loved one, the anxiety of losing one's job or business, all these take a toll on our mental and emotional well-being. As treatment against stress, I prescribe a free medicine for you: exercise. Exercise clears the stress hormones out of your system. It helps us relax and calm down. Exercise improves our mood. Medical studies have shown that exercise produces change in parts of the body that regulate anxiety. Speaking from experience, whenever I feel mentally drained, sluggish, or pressured, I walk, run, or bike. After the exercise, those negative feelings go away. The problems don't disappear, but whatever worries I had before the walk, for some magical reason, they become less after the walk. In fact, the more stress that you have in your life, the more exercise you need. When I use that stationary bike for 1 hour and I pedal so hard, it's as if all the stress gets released and drips away in my sweat. And after that workout, my mind is clearer. I feel much better. Exercise makes you smarter and stronger. When you exercise, your heart rate increases, and this promotes the flow of blood and oxygen to your brain. Exercise has been shown to cause the hippocampus, a part of the brain that's vital for memory and learning, to grow in size. This serves to increase mental function. Research on students have shown that those who work out before a test get better scores. They had 2 sets of students, one who did some physical activity before the test and another who did not. Generally, those who exercised did better. And I am not surprised. In my case, I've been writing a sports column for the past 25 years. And many times when I sit to type on an article, my mind goes blank. I have 0 ideas. Instead of forcing myself to think, I get up and find time to sweat. After that, the creative juices and ideas flow. Exercise also strengthens our muscles and bones. We reach our peak bone and muscle mass by the age of 30. When we hit our 40s, we begin to lose bone and muscle mass, and these can lead to injuries and disabilities. But with physical activity, especially resistance training, like lifting weights for example, we can slow and even reverse this process. Keeping our bones and muscles strong decreases our chances of osteoporosis. Lifting weights as we grow older is highly recommended. 4th reason, exercise helps you sleep better. Sleep is very important. Good sleep recharges us and helps protect our mental and physical health. The way you feel when you're awake during the day depends in part on what happens while you're sleeping. How can we sleep better? A good workout can help. Dr. Charlene Gamaldo, Medical Director of Johns Hopkins Center for Sleep at Howard County General Hospital says, "We have solid evidence that exercise does, in fact, help you fall asleep more quickly and improves sleep quality. Exercise can contribute to a more restful sleep. It increases time spent in deep sleep, the most physically restorative sleep phase. Apart from improving the quality of sleep, exercise can also help you sleep longer. Because exercise forces you to expend energy, this helps you feel more tired and ready to rest at the end of the day. Exercise is good for your heart. Heart disease is the number one cause of death worldwide. About 1/3 of all deaths is caused by a heart attack or stroke. It beats cancer, diabetes, pneumonia. Worse, this appears to have increased because of COVID-19. In the article, Why the Heart Attack Death Rate Has Doubled During COVID-19, it says, most people would do almost anything to avoid going to the hospital during the COVID-19 pandemic over fears of contracting the novel coronavirus. Unfortunately, that has included many people ignoring the signs of a heart attack. Overall, the researchers concluded people were 2.4 times as likely to die from a heart attack when compared with pre-pandemic times, probably because they were less likely to be hospitalized. What is the solution? The American Heart Association promotes exercise as one factor that can reduce health-related diseases and decrease the risk of having a heart attack. In the article, Exercise Helps Your Heart, it says, regular exercise is an important way to lower your risk of heart disease. Exercising for 30 minutes or more on most days can help you lose weight, improve your cholesterol, and even lower your blood pressure by as many as 5 to 7 points. A sedentary lifestyle, where you have little or no physical activity, doubles your risk of dying from heart disease. How does exercise help? Just as exercise strengthens the other muscles in your body, it also helps your heart muscle become more efficient and better able to pump blood throughout your body. This means that the heart pushes out more blood with each beat, allowing it to beat slower and keep your blood pressure under control. My favorite reason for exercising is the simplest. It just feels good. It makes me happy. My morning and day are not complete unless I sweat. I feel slow and lack energy if I don't exercise. You've heard of the term runner's high. To those who run, you've experienced this. When you exercise, feel-good chemicals called endorphins are released in your body. These endorphins spark a positive, euphoric feeling. That's why I often smile while exercising because of the joy it brings. My mind is sharper and I have clear thinking. I feel good after a workout. To summarize, here are the 6 reasons why you should exercise for life. First, exercise strengthens your immune system. Exercise is a stress buster, and it's good for our mental health. It makes you smarter and stronger. Exercise helps you sleep better. It's good for your heart. And finally, exercise just feels good and makes you happy. I hope I've convinced you on the importance and benefits of exercise. Now the question, how? How do I do it? I'll be giving you 9 tips on how to exercise. First is the number 30. Our goal is to exercise for at least 30 minutes every day, if you can. Remember our BCBP commitment to pray and read scripture for at least 30 minutes a day? We should try to do the same with exercise. There are 1,440 minutes in one day, and all you need is 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes to pray, at least 30 minutes to take care of your physical self by exercising. You can even combine praying and exercising. Our good friend Jourdan Polotan prays the rosary while running. And I know of some people who listen to podcasts that will read aloud the day's gospel readings while you pedal on that stationary bike. The goal is simple: 30 minutes of exercise every day or most days of the week. Second tip: find the type of exercise that you enjoy doing. It's obvious, when you do something that you like, it's easy to keep on doing it again and again. Before the pandemic hit us, we had so many sports to choose from. Badminton, working out in the gym, tennis, joining a Zumba or yoga class. Not all of these options are open because of the restrictions. But we can all go back to many of these in the future when things go back to normal. The questions to ask are: what do I enjoy doing? What sport or exercise do I love to do? And then go do it. Walking is man's best medicine, says Hippocrates. Walking is one of the best forms of exercise. If you're able to find a safe place outdoors, walking while wearing a mask is one of your best options. If you walk early mornings, you can get some sun, and that's a free dosage of vitamin D. In my case, I used to play tennis almost daily, but for the past few years, I've stopped. It takes time to travel to the court and to organize a match with your friends. And so for the past years, I've shifted to running and biking. I love running. If you want to lose weight, there's no better activity. You can run alone or with a group. You can run at any time of the day. And running is inexpensive, and there are plenty of events to join. One activity is our BCBP Be Honest Run. We organized this back in 2017 and 2018, and we had over 1,500 participants in each run. And we'll organize this once again when running events are allowed. The sport I also enjoy is biking. And I know that we have plenty of brothers in the BCBP who enjoy biking. We even have a Viber group called Biker Bros, where we upload photos of our bike rides. Biking is best because it has zero impact. It does not affect your knees and you hardly get injured from biking. The cardio workout is tremendous, and there has been a surge of bikers here in Cebu and around the world since the pandemic. I prefer to exercise early morning from 6 to 8 a.m. I usually run or bike at least an hour every day. My body every morning looks for the exercise. I feel sluggish when I don't sweat. Again, my advice: find the sport or workout that you enjoy. Tip number 3, exercise at home. Many of us, I know, are not comfortable exercising outdoors. We are scared of the virus. And unfortunately, we do not have many big open parks or playgrounds where we can do social distancing while exercising. Don't worry. There are tens of thousands of exercises that you can enjoy doing at home, and they can be found in YouTube. YouTube has millions of videos to help you, all for free. There's yoga, kickboxing, dancing, boxing, Pilates. Any type of workout or instructional is found in YouTube. And so at this time, if you don't want to exercise outdoors, stay at home. YouTube is your indoor exercise partner. Exercise with your spouse. My wife Hasmin and I share one thing in common. We enjoy running. Back in 2018, we ran the New York City Marathon together, from the start in Staten Island to the finish in Central Park. We spent a lot of quality time together, especially during our 6-month-long training. Running is one of the best ways to spend time together as a couple. For the New York City Marathon, the whole race was one of the most memorable experiences of our life. We high-fived people. We ran alongside Monsignor Robert Ritchie, the priest who officiated the Mass the night before. We battled cramps. And of course, we crossed the finish line holding hands and celebrating with a kiss at the finish. We did the same 42-kilometer run during the 2019 Osaka Marathon, and we were set to run the 2020 London Marathon last April, but unfortunately it got cancelled. And we know of many BCBP couples who run together. One marathon couple are Dr. Sander and Mai Ogalino. We are all members of the BCMR, Brotherhood of Christian Married Runners. Exercise with a group. Find a group whose company you enjoy and exercise regularly with that group. It may be your barkada, with your family and children, or even better, with your BCBP action group. Why does working out with a group help? Dr. Dian Grisel says, workouts with others improve consistency because they involve a commitment. No-shows and cancellations get noticed by others, and positive peer pressure can help curtail the urges to skip a workout or to quit. A study was conducted related to a weight loss program, and there was a 76% completion rate for those who did the program alone. For those who involved their friends, this increased to a 95% chance of success. The reasons are simple. We don't want to let down our friends. If you scheduled a run at 6:30 in the morning and the alarm rings at 5:45 and you feel sleepy and tired, it's so easy to go back to sleep. But if you have 3 other friends whom you promise to meet, you won't skip. You get up and run. For us BCBP members, I have a good suggestion that we can apply to our action groups. In your next action group meeting, include, as part of your tasking, a commitment from each member to exercise. The tasking has to be very specific. For example, a brother will commit and say, starting next week, I will walk 45 minutes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I will walk 1 hour when I have extra time on Sundays. It has to be specific. Let's ask each action group member to commit on a tasking of exercise. Let's do this, sisters and brothers. Which brings me to the next tip, number 6. Record every workout. You may do this on a piece of paper, or like in my case, I have a Google Sheet file, like an Excel file, and I type after each workout the distance that I've ran or biked. Why is keeping a record important? One reason is you'll feel happy and proud with the total mileage that you've accumulated after a week or a month. This will motivate you further. An even better suggestion with the workouts that you record is this: show it to your friends and family. With us at the BCBP, let's show the record of our workouts to our action group each week by sending a photo or screenshot. Let this be part of our tasking. This simple act of recording and showing to others has a powerful effect. It's called accountability. If you promise to run, for example, at least 5 kilometers every week, you will do it. because you want to prove to the others that you can. Tip number 6, record your exercise activities and show it to your action group, to your barkada, to your family. Next very important tip, and related to the previous one, is to set a target. During normal times, this target may be a big one. For example, I want to join the Ironman race in Cebu and swim, bike, and run. Or I want to run a full 42-kilometer event, like the Cebu Marathon. The bigger the goal, the better. From my experience, this act of setting a big target can transform your life. Your schedule will change, your priorities will change, all for the better. But during this time of COVID-19, many of these outdoor events are not allowed. But you can still set a target. That target may be to walk 4 times a week. It may be to lose 8 pounds every month. It may be to run 5K every week. It may be to take 10,000 steps every day. Whatever your target, make it very specific. The more specific the target, the better. Overspend on exercise. Yes, I said the word overspend. I know times are difficult, but if you can, budget as much as you can afford and spend that for exercise. Preferably something that your whole family can use too. There's a saying, better to spend money on fitness today and get healthy than to spend that on medicines in the future. Overspend on fitness. It may be buying a treadmill so you can walk or run safely at home. It might be buying dumbbells so you can lift weights. A stationary bike or elliptical machine are very good investments. One item that I suggest you buy is a sports watch. If you can buy one that has GPS, so that your distance can be measured while you walk, run, or bike. You don't have to buy the latest 30,000 peso Garmin smartwatch. There are many options now that are quite inexpensive. I say overspend because the more you spend on something, the more you will treasure it and use it. Tip number 9, consult your doctor. There are 3 basic questions to ask before you start exercising. First, have you led a sedentary lifestyle with almost zero exercise? If the answer is yes and you have been inactive, it's best to see a doctor first. Second, do you have any signs of heart problems or any other health concerns, like for example diabetes or kidney or lung diseases? Again, it's best to see a doctor first. Third, if you plan to engage in high-intensity workouts like running, or for example, if you plan to join a triathlon event or a marathon, it's best to see a doctor first. A very good piece of advice is to have an annual executive checkup in the hospital. If you can have a full stress test that will include a treadmill stress test, that would be best. To summarize, here are 9 tips that you can do. First is to commit to exercise at least 30 minutes every day, or most days of the week. Second is to find a workout that you enjoy. Third is to be ready to exercise at home. Fourth is to spend time working out with your spouse. Fifth, exercise with a group. Next, record all your activities. Set a target. Eighth, overspend on fitness equipment. And finally, consult your doctor. Brothers and sisters, to end, I want to go back to the beginning. To go back to the beginning of my life when I was a little child. You see, when I was still very young, my dad, Bunny, and my mom, Alan, got me into sports. Same with my siblings. when they were growing up. Here's a photo of me at a very young age. No, I did not play tennis yet, and that's not my trophy. But it shows how much my parents wanted us to get into sports. In elementary, my dad built a half-court basketball court in our backyard in Bacolod. Every night, my brother Charlie and I would turn on the lights and play basketball for hours. When I'd get sick, it wasn't medicine that cured me, but going out to sweat away the fever while playing basketball. I credit my dad and mom for this. They were always there for us, encouraging us to be active and watching our every game. Now, many of you here are parents, and one of the best legacies that you can leave your children is for them to live healthier lives. But remember the saying, you cannot inspire others to accomplish what you are not willing to try. Dear parents, let us do it for our children. Let us teach them at a young age to exercise and be healthy. Let us be their role models. Let us also do it for ourselves so we can live longer lives that we can spend with our loved ones. And finally, let us do it to glorify our Lord, who has given us our bodies, our talents and abilities, all of which we cannot enjoy and live to the fullest unless we are healthy and strong. Sisters and brothers, thank you and God bless. Let's go.
Listen to the words of the first letter of Paul to the Corinthians. Do you not know that the runners in the stadium all run in the race, but only one wins the prize? Run as to win. Every athlete exercises discipline in every way. They do it to win a perishable crown, but we an imperishable one. Thus, I do not run aimlessly. I do not fight as if I were shadow boxing. No, I drive my body and train it, for fear that, after having preached to others, I myself should be disqualified. Running after more than 11 years can still be enjoyable, beneficial, and fun. While I was reminiscing on my first few runs in June 2009, it dawned on me that while I've been running for only 1/5 of my life, you'd think it would have been much longer considering all the lessons running has taught me. As I reflect on all those kilometers that I've run at all times of day and night, under the sun and in the rain, on the roads and a few trails, a couple of triathlon relays, countless fun runs and half marathons, a dozen marathons and 9 ultramarathons, I realized that the more I give to running, the more it gives back to me. And so, to celebrate the gift of running, I am privileged to have learned these lessons. Starting somewhere is always better than never starting at all. I have never been sporty ever since I was in school. I tried running at the Abuyana Sports Complex in my 30s, but one round of 400 meters left me gasping for breath. At age 41, I said to myself, why not give it another try? Thankfully, it went on and on until now. Don't push yourself too hard. Listen to your body. Remember, we just have one. It's okay to slow down and take a break and do walks in between. It is better to be undertrained than to be injured. There are times that I don't have the luxury of time to train, but I say to myself, I can do it as long as I am not injured. Lucky shoes aren't actually lucky, but believing in yourself almost always brings good fortune. Confidence is the key. Trust that you can do it. Clarity of mind and purpose make the long and hard runs infinitely more manageable. I run to make me fit. I don't compete with others. I run at my own pace. You don't need to win any medals or break any personal records, but you need to be true to yourself. During this pandemic, virtual runs have been a fad. I was privileged to be an organizer and a participant again for a 50-kilometer ultramarathon last October. But this time it was virtual. All runners ran at their own time, pace, and place. Honesty was a virtue one had to practice. It's a lot easier to keep going than to restart. In 2012, when I lost my husband Ram, I quite lost the interest to run because I was used to running with him by my side. Then shortly thereafter, I realized I had to keep going and doing the thing that we both love doing most together. Running can teach us many things about ourselves and about life. Yes, it has taught me patience, discipline, and many more good things. Treasure the friends made through running. They've been with you at your best and at your worst. Running inspires all sorts of things, other people and you. If a friend in her mid-60s can still do a 50-kilometer ultramarathon, why can't we? Running can and should be a joyful experience. It is meant to be. God has given us our physical powers in order that we may serve Him joyously, help one another, and by discipline in accord with the law of God, make our body fit for every good work. God therefore approves of recreations for the relaxation of the mind and the exercise of the body. Care of our bodies fosters mental well-being, and we more readily establish friendly and affable relationships with other people. And yes, even if I am 11 pounds heavier and 11 years older, I certainly want to be able to run not just for 11 years, but into old age. No one has failed who keeps trying and keeps praying. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Keep safe, everyone, and God bless and protect us all.
Good morning, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John, for giving me this opportunity to share a little of my fitness journey. One of the things I learned from my late father was the importance of balance. Sound mind, sound spirit, in a sound body. He repeated this to me over and over again as a young child, and I found it by engaging in sports, taking my studies seriously and doing well, and serving in church. I've been always active all my life, from tubig-tubig, shatong, dakup-dakup, gubat-gubat sa sementeryo, biking, basketball, shot put, wall climbing, weights, Muay Thai, badminton, and now long-distance running and biking. I have never stopped moving, never stopped exercising, but I also never stopped eating, thinking that my metabolism was the same as my youthful days. Up until 2014, I was walking the dog, lifting weights, spending around 10 hours a week on focused exercise. But eating buffet breakfasts and then buffet lunches and then buffet dinners during my business trips. Let me share with you something. That's me in July 2014. 8 to 10 hours of exercise, but already a week in the 98 to 100 kilogram range and a 38-inch waistline. But that was the year that I decided, on invitation, to join my first Ironman as a biker on a relay team for the August 2015 staging of the Ironman. By 2016, I had done 2 Ironmans, and Jingle, my late wife, after 21 years of living with a kidney transplant, had kidney failure and got back on dialysis. For those of you who don't know, that's 3 times a week, 4 hours each time, but with the travel time to and fro the center, dialysis center, hook up, take down, that was practically 7 hours each time. What to do? I took careful stock of my own health and decided to get serious about getting healthy. I will not share with you the details, but would gladly share with you, hopefully in the Q&A, and if you so desire one-on-one. Later, I will show you my email address, and for many of you, you know how to reach me. That was how I looked in August 2015, and on the other side is last November 2020, during the staging of the End Polio Ride. Why was getting fit so important? I believe that the body is the temple of our soul, and we have only one temple, one lifetime to get it right. How can we serve the Lord or our loved ones if we are sick, limping, injured, or just not healthy enough to move properly because of the things we did not do or we could have done, or the things that we did to ourselves? I believe that there are many things we can do to achieve good health, and not just weight loss, but none of them are easy. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, but I know a few things to be of solid science. 1. 80% of weight loss is the things that you put into your mouth. Yes, the quantity, the quality, the frequency, and even the time you eat makes a big difference. Only 20% of weight loss comes from exercise. You exercise not really to lose weight, but to improve the way your body moves. And yes, one of the benefits is that you look better and your insides get better too. One of the best gifts that we can give ourselves and to our loved ones is to live out the rest of our years in the best health that we can achieve. I personally believe that we cannot lengthen our days, but we can drastically shorten it by the choices we make, by the things we do and don't do. I would gladly share with you a couple of principles that work for me. One is intermittent fasting, previously known as time-restricted eating. Fasting sounds so negative, while you say time-restricted eating sounds more positive. The second principle I followed in my health journey is low heart rate training, also known as the methadone method or the slow burn. This is where I am. This is the result of those two principles that I followed. 75 to 76 kilogram weight range right now, 32 inch, less than a 32 inch waistline, 31 is a bit too tight. Entering the pandemic in March of 2020, I plateaued at 83 kilograms. But during the pandemic, the quarantine, lockdown, I decided to ramp up my training, take my eating, watch my eating more carefully. And I reached this weight in November 2020 and have kept it off. God willing, I'll be able to hit my ultimate goal of 70 before the end of the year. This is what's happening inside that we cannot see. If you look at my resting heart rate while sleeping, I achieve as low as 39, 45, 47, as high as 52 beats per minute while I'm sleeping. Is it easy? No way. It's one of the hardest things I have to do in my life. 4 years and counting. And you cannot let your guard down. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Of course, yes. Just the way I move, just how good I feel, how strong I feel. And yeah, it's absolutely worth all the sacrifices and the mental discipline that and the focus that I had to put into it. One body, one lifetime to get it right. It is the best gift that we can give to ourselves and to our loved ones, the gift of good health. Last week in the breakfast, in our chapter's breakfast on February 6th, I shared this Latin phrase, "Vincit qui se vincit." He who conquers himself. Join me. If you have questions, you can join me. You can reach me on this email. Better yet, join me when I run and when I bike, and you will be so amazed at what our bodies and what determination can achieve. Yes, I believe as a community we have enough knowledge base, wisdom, practical wisdom, all the mistakes all of us have made, and there's enough wisdom and knowledge that we can share so that we can have one journey to good health. Again, thank you for taking the time to listen to me and for this opportunity to share. I look forward to question and answers or hearing from you privately. Have a good day, brothers and sisters. Thank you.